Hey there, viewers, and welcome back to the Self-Made Auto Channel. Got the 2015 Jeep Wrangler. Inspection ran out about a year ago. There's something going on with the parking brake, I'm told, so we're gonna pull the wheels off, have a look. I see the customer has some parking brake shoes sitting on the seat, and I don't remember talking to the customer about it. I remember talking to him, but I don't remember what the story is. There's something goofed up with the parking brake. I don't know if he took it apart and then couldn't get it back together, but we're gonna take and pull the wheels. It looks like it has relatively new brakes on the back. So we'll tear into it and see what we find, and we'll do it together. I grab the box out of the inside. I pulled upon the parking brake a little bit, but I don't want to get stuff jammed up if it's, oh. So this is what's in the box. Oh boy. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna need this. It looks like some old hardware and some new hardware and some new shoes. So maybe the shoes came apart at some point and then the customer just took them apart, but I don't think. So that's the actuator there. That's kind of seized up a little bit. Boy, I don't think these things are a son of a bee to do with these double spring deals here. So this is the top spring that goes on these parking brake shoes. We got one on the front side and one that goes on the back side. I'm not so sure you can put these on without pulling the axles. And on these, to pull the axles, you got to pull bearings. To pull the bearings, you got to cut the retainer off the axle. It gets real stupid real fast. Well, is what it is. Let's pull it apart. See what's up. Oh, brand new. New-ish. So we're gonna just pull the whole caliper with the bracket. I think this style here you have to pull, yeah. So this side has the actuator in it still. It appears to be seized up. So this side probably has the stuff in it. Let's start over there. Well, I don't know, we're here. Let's do it. Quit fooling around, you fool. I changed my mind. We're gonna break it down like this. The other side, got my thumb stuck in there. The other side does not have a brand new caliper on it. Appears to have new pads though. We just wanna make sure everything is all good. Looks like this side was properly lubed. Inner and outer pads obviously new. Plus, I wanted to pull the caliper because it's easier to get to these bolts, which the sway bar links in the way I think we're gonna have to use old-fashioned wool wrench. Let me grab a, looks like maybe an 18 mil, we'll get that out of there. Not bad. Cracked him for 240. If I get that one by hand. Got an old two-finger tickler here. There we go. Classic move. Yes, sir. So this one has the parking brake shoes on it. Great. Set our rotor down. Everything seems pretty seized up over here. Might be able to get them shoes on without pulling the axle. I know if you check service data, it's going to tell you to pull the axle, which, you know, you pull the axle, it's not a, it's, you know, the backing plate comes with it. So you got to get the, you know, you take the 4 bolts out here and the speed sensor, and you pull the whole axle and backing plate out, then you got to cut the bearing retainer and cut the bearing. And then get them off the axle to get the backing plate off, put all your jiggly bits on, then you got to press on a new bearing and a new retainer. That's how you're supposed to do it. Maybe we can take a little tour around town on the struggle bus to see. I know these things are a mother lover to do without it. However, if we see an axle seal, never mind, I think this axle seal over here is leaking. I'm going to say if we see an axle seal leaking, we're going to do it I guess it wouldn't be the old-fashioned way. We're going to do it the right way. But this axle seal here is wet, so we're probably going to end up pulling the bearings anyways. Let's get this side apart, see what we're dealing with. So, same as the other side, only different. Whoa, don't fall down there, fella. Lubrication levels on this side seem well, adequate anyways. Get up in here with our 18 Mother clubber! Oh, I thought they had a ripped boot on it, but I guess not. You gotta put your legs into that. Give a little grunt. Leave that in a little bit so this doesn't swing up and right in your teeth. That's no fun. There we go. Take that old bolt to Tickletown. There's that one. There's that one. We'll set the bracket to the side. See what we're doing with. Whoa! That came off easy, huh? No park and brake shoes holding this fella up. Hey, what do we got here, boys? There's no parking brake shoes, but what's interesting, you see how this is tweaked out? I don't know, you probably can't tell. Let's see, how can I show you? You see that big gap there? It's kind of tweaked out and into the speed sensor. It's almost like this backing plate is. Well, it looks pretty dang straight there. Maybe I'm just making crap up. So that's from the adjuster hole. So the adjuster hole is here. Oh, well, let me get a light. That might be how it's supposed to sit. Yeah, no, this is definitely different than the other side. This is where the adjuster hole is. There is definitely shoved in, tweaked out, because where this mounting pad, yeah, this whole thing is banged in. Because where this mounting pad is for the shoe, it's sitting, it's harder, sitting like this, over dramatizing it. So isn't this one, that one's flat, that one's flat. So something has banged in here on the back of this. That's probably why this is all tore apart, and that's why it's popped out there. We might be able to see, well, I guess we could put the bracket back on. You can see the distance between the bracket and this, but this backing plate is definitely tweaked in this direction. Like if you were to grab it and tweak it this way, that is the way it is tweaked. Okay, so I think we're gonna need a right side backing plate. You can see that seal is just a little bit dribbly. You got a little dribble. Yeah, because these ones all sit flat. Like I said, you probably can't tell on the JO, but you can see that axle seal also has some drizzle. I think the smartest thing to do is pull the axles and do it the right way. If and it were me, and it isn't, it's a customer, and the backing plates weren't horribly, ridiculously expensive, I would do both backing plates while I had them off, because that would be the smart thing to do. It looks like, obviously fluid films or does something to the Jeep, because the frame's nice. It's not your average New York rot box. Yeah, it looks pretty clean. That's what I would do. I'm gonna quote out the customer on both backing plates, let them know that they only need one. Always throw your speed sensors on your quote just in case. But honestly, I have found a trick with these, and I found it in a bit of rage one day because I forgot to quote a customer on the speed sensors on the back of the Dodge. You take the bolt out, it's going to be seized in. But if you take the bolt out, and in a pissed off bit of rage, you just hit the end of the speed sensor with a hammer, it knocks them right out and doesn't break the speed sensor. Don't ask me how I know, but I know, and it works every time. So I'll quote them just in case. So speed sensors, both backing plates. It looks like he's got all the parking brake jiggly bits. Of course, axle seals, bearing retainer. Let me see if I get the job, folks. And if I do, we'll keep on keeping on. And I'm also going to get the story from the customer to find out what the world happened here. Because I don't see any other damage other than this being tweaked back. But how in the thunder can that, how did that happen? Let's call the guy and see if he wants to tell us the truth. So I spoke with the customer, and he said he doesn't know what happened to that. He said what he did is he was going to do the brakes or whatever, pulled the rotor off, and then, you know, the shoe was delaminated, and that was it. And then he took it apart and then said, can't get it back together, which is, I've seen this case more than once. We've had more than one of these come in like this or this style Dodge with that double top spring in there. You can do them. You know, you're gonna see guys in the comments, they do them all the time, super easy. They're not super easy. They're a real pain in the hoo-ha to do, but you can get it in there without pulling the axles, but you have to be quite determined, we'll say. You have to have a little patience and a swear jar and a lot of money. He wants to go ahead and just do it. He said just do whatever it needs to be done to get it fixed. Has no idea about this or how it got bent. And looking at it and looking at the rust and stuff, it looks like it's been that way for a while. Perhaps it's not a problem, but if we're gonna take it apart and do the seals, Dorman sells this two-piece backing plate kit. So we'll just get that and put it on. I checked with Chrysler. The only way they sell the backing plate is the entire loaded assembly. It's 213 bucks. Backing plate, shoes, all this stuff on it. But being that the customer already has the shoes, the Dorman kits aren't too bad. Ended up being like, I don't know, like 50 bucks a side or something like that. So probably all comes out in the wash. Stay tuned, part 2. We're gonna get the parts, we're gonna get after it.